Welcome to the channel. So I'm in Old Green today, and we got the sway bar links fixed as you saw in the last video. And after doing that, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the truck. Here's how the engine sounds right now. Hardly any noise from the cam phasers or whatever's going on, and it usually makes a noise once it gets all the way hot. Being cold out actually helps a little bit, so I'm thinking it's just the VCT solenoid that needs to be changed in order to remedy the problem. But overall, right now, I'm really happy with the truck because it drives really good. I'm really impressed with the rough country 2.5 or 2 inch level, because the truck rides really good now. Like it goes down the road like a new truck. I mean, it's not perfect as far as the power and the trans and all that, but it puts down decent power, and it takes bumps really good now. That sway bar link on the one side was actually making a big improvement. You know, just changing out that one part. Sway bar link makes a lot of noise when you hit bumps, and now I can really appreciate the quality that you get from the rough country 2-inch lift. It actually does drive really good. It's pretty cushy. It's nice. I mean, overall, I definitely would recommend the 2-inch lift from rough country. So still a few things left to do to the truck moving forward. We have our power steering leak here in the front, and it's pretty slow right now. I'm not worrying about it. We've been idling here for a while, and I'm not actually showing any stains right here, and I've been here for about 5 minutes, so that's pretty cool. You know, it's a slow leak. It has to get all the way warmed up for it to leak, and you're talking hardly adding any fluid. Since I've added it, or since I've had the truck, I've had to add just a little bit of fluid, so not even nowhere near a quart. You know, after a month or so, if I were to drive it daily, I probably would have to add a quart. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fix that kind of when I get a chance. I do have to do the axle on the front here somehow, guys. I don't know how the axle is torn on the right hand side of the truck. Now, I've looked back at all the footage. I have footage from the truck when I first got it up on the hoist at the shop. I have footage from when I did the 2-inch lift, and when I did the lift, that shock, or that CV axle on the right hand side was just leaking, and it's getting worse. When I first did the shock, it was a little tear with a little bit of grease coming out, but now, since it's lifted up a little bit higher and those CV angles are a little bit steeper of an angle, I think it's just exacerbating the issue, causing it to open up even more. It's just throwing grease everywhere. So it was really strange when I went to change out the sway link. When I changed out the sway bar link, I also noticed that the brake line on this side was not in the right spot, so I had to go ahead and bend the brake line on the caliper so it was in the correct position. It was kind of weird, so I'm probably going to go ahead and replace the brake line coming off the caliper on this side. That way I know that it hasn't been bent or anything. I know it's probably okay, but I'll probably just go ahead and replace that along with the CV axle and then the power steering line up front. And this truck will be in pretty good shape. I've just heard the knocking from the cam phaser just kind of kick in a little bit, but honestly, guys, you know, just like everything else, I'm just going to kind of fix it when I get time, because I've seen so many of these trucks that are in worse condition than this. Like, I'm talking like, you start them up and you're hearing the knocking, and you're hearing there's guys that are really roughing it out here, and this truck's actually running really good compared to a lot of these trucks that are on the road. So anyway, let's jump inside. All right, guys, driving the truck right now, and I have to say, couldn't be happier. It's driving so good. The front suspension is performing great. I really do like the rough country 2-inch lift. I mean, it drives just as good as original, maybe better. I don't know. I've said before that I wouldn't put this on a new truck, and at this point, maybe I would. You know, it's a cheap solution. If it was a lease vehicle, you can go ahead and throw the original shocks to the side, throw in your rough country stuff, which is affordable stuff. It's like, I think the shocks were like $300. It wouldn't be a bad idea, you know, if it's vehicle that you're not going to be in for a long time if you just don't throw the blocks on it, the lift blocks. But it doesn't seem to have hurt the alignment. But at the same time, I don't know the condition of the alignment. Oh, we got some ice here. Oh, come on. Stop. Jeez, this is all ice. This is interesting because I just barely made this stop. This is interesting because like this truck with these Falcon tires, I'm actually driving on straight up ice right now, and I'm in 2-wheel drive. But this is the only vehicle that I can drive at all. But that I can drive at all in 2-wheel drive, I should add. But these are definitely the best tires. It's interesting because these are the best tires that I have on any vehicle, and it's the oldest vehicle that we have. So I would definitely recommend 100% the Rough Country 2-inch lift. You know, they're not the most expensive, but they're good if you're just on road. You want a better pure ice. They are good if you're just driving on the street and you want it's pretty treacherous out here. They are good if you just want that 2-inch lift and you're just driving on the street. You know, they're probably good for off-road as well. I don't know. But what do you guys think about the issues that I've had with the repairs? So I had some work done at a shop, and the only thing they did is put on the front hubs. And the front hubs, the hub lockers, there's some kind of locking mechanism on Fords that disengage the hub, the CV joint from the spindle at the spindle, so the CV joints don't spin all times. Well, when I had those done, it cost me about $600 or something like that, and I didn't want to do it myself because I was being, you know, lazy, and I honestly didn't want to do a ton of work to this vehicle myself. But so I had the work done, and you know, afterwards I ended up doing the 2-inch strut myself, the 2-inch lift kit myself. After doing that, I noticed that the axle boot was torn on one of the CV joints. Now, I didn't tear it myself. If I would have tore it, you know, I would have posted it on YouTube. I would have, you know, let everybody know that it happened. And I know, so the thing with my channel is, even though I might do something that might make me look bad, I still will show it. You know, I've done the camera install, and you see me, you know, if I make a mistake, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not really like afraid, you know, to put a mistake out there. So if I would have torn the boot, I would have owned up to it. Now, unless somehow I did it without knowing, I'm pretty sure, you know, I didn't tear the boot without knowing, but I guess it's possible. I have experience working on cars, even though I'm a little rusty right now because I haven't worked on anything in a number of years. But I really think that it's possible that the shop, you know, kind of hacked it up, and they didn't do that great of a job. I mean, they did a good job in the sense that the locking hubs are on the vehicle properly, but it looks as if in the process of doing that, there is a chance that something else may have been kind of altered or moved in the process. For example, the axle, you have to remove the axle to install the hubs, and there's a chance that I feel like that they could have torn that axle, which is not really a big deal if you were willing to kind of own up to it. And I mean, I don't know what the circumstances could have been. If they did tear the boot, maybe let me know somehow. I don't know. I guess I could pay for it. I don't really know, but at least let me know. But now it's just, you know, like, I don't drive the vehicle too much. I mean, what you guys see me like right now, this is pretty much all I drive the vehicle. It's not a daily driver. and it's for snow service, and it's never been in service. It's never been used for snow service because it hasn't snowed enough for me to use it. So I haven't driven it, and I don't understand how the boot got torn. It's got a lot of miles, so drive like that. The vehicle's got a lot of miles, but like I said, when I got the vehicle, it had 219,000. It's still got 219,000. It's not racking up a ton of miles. So there's a chance that the shop caused the damage. Now, I also noticed that the brake line was bent out of its normal position, which could have been in the way of that hub as well, as that locking hub as well. And when I was doing the sway link, I noticed that the brake line was not in the right position, and I bent it back to somewhat in the correct position. So I'm probably going to go ahead, like I said, replace that brake line. But I really don't know what to say about, a shop potentially causing that issue, because if that is the case, then there's really nothing that can be done. I mean, they can't fix it if they somehow caused the damage. There's no way that they can fix it. It comes down to the way it is today. A lot of times, I don't have a senior mechanic who's gonna, at a shop like where I took it, the senior mechanic, I'm not necessarily gonna get a great mechanic to do the work, or the owner to do the work. I don't know who's doing the work. It's almost like, dare I say it, it's almost like a dealership where you can get a tech who's not really that experienced doing the work on your car. Maybe they see like a higher mileage old car, so they send this vehicle to the guy with less experience. I don't know what the case is, but yeah, there definitely seems to be some damage that I just don't see how I could have done it. If I would have owned up to it, and I would have fixed it on camera. But it's just weird that this stuff is not correct with the repairs. So maybe I'll find a new shop, but at the end of the day, it's not, I feel like it's a good thing that I'm working on this vehicle myself. It's kind of getting me out and about. It's getting my brain firing. It's getting me kind of like thinking about stuff, and it is, there is a sense of pride when you turn a wrench on your own vehicle and you do some work to it. You really do have a sense of pride in what you're doing. Like right now, I got 3 new trucks, a 2018 F-150, 2 2019s, and it's like, they're all cooler than this truck, but I'm driving this around the town, just going for a drive, because this is the one that I turned a wrench on. Whereas those ones don't need anything, so they're kind of boring. Whereas this one, it needs something all the time, and it drives down the road really good. There's no rattles. The front suspension's great. The rough country's performing well, and there's just a sense of pride in the fact that I did, a lot of it myself. So even though I'm not the best mechanic, I'm not the guy you want to watch if you want to do the repairs. I'm not busting out with a torque wrench on things I don't have to. I'm just kind of doing what I do, and it is what it is. Backyard alley cat, alley mechanic. So anyway, guys, comment below. Tell me what you think about that situation, and have a great day. Bye.